So market equilibrium. What's the meaning of market equilibrium? Market stability, market equality. What's the meaning in Arabic of market equilibrium?
توازن السوق دكتور أو تعادل السوق.
Well done. So again, the first, what did you say again?
يعني تعادل السوق عندما يوم يعني
The first word you said.
يعني تساوي السوق، تعادل السوق.
The first word you said توازن السوق.
توازن السوق هي صح.
Yes. Okay. What's your name?
جاسم دكتور جاسم.
جاسم. Well done جاسم. فاطمة السويدي. سعيد عبد الله. عبد الله محمد.
Doctor, it's me, Abdullah Ali.
What's your name?
Abdullah Ali.
Abdullah Ali. I'm looking for you, Abdullah. Where are you?
Yes, doctor, I was here.
Okay, so read this, Abdullah, for me. Equilibrium.
The condition that exists when quantity supplied and quantity demanded are equal. At equilibrium, there is no tendency for price to change.
Okay, so see here, we can reach equilibrium when quantity supplied equals quantity demanded. And if we reach this condition, the market will be stable and there is no tendency, no trend, no desire for price to change. The price will be stable. But it's not so easy. What's the meaning quantity supplied equals quantity demanded? That means producers are willing to sell, for example, 5 units, and customers are willing to purchase 5 units, not more or less. So for this reason, we say there is equality, or the market reached equilibrium. So let's make this numerical questions. So instead of curves, I will take equations. So Abdullah Ali will read the question for me. Abdullah Ali.
Yes. Suppose the market demanded for tomatoes is given by quantity
demanded. Yes, good. Go ahead.
1000 minus 20p, and the market supply for tomatoes is given by quantity supply 30p plus 500. In equilibrium, how many kilos of tomatoes would be sold and at what price?
Okay. So see here, P means the price per unit. So we have two equations, one for demand and another one for supply. So at equilibrium, as Abdullah read the definition, quantity demanded equals quantity supplied. This is only at equilibrium. And the question said, find information about equilibrium. So what I will did here, instead of QD, I replace it with its equation, 1000 minus 20p, and I replace the equation of supply, which is equal 30p plus 500. So I think if you are familiar with simple mathematics, what I will do, I will shift minus 20p to another side. When you shift this term to another side, this sign, minus 20, will be changed to positive. It will be 20p. So 30p plus 20p, it will be 50p. Okay. And I will shift this term plus 500 to another side. When you shift a term to another side, change the sign from positive to negative. So 1000 minus 500 it will be 500. Okay, what is P? P equals 500 divided by 50. So P equals 500 divided by P, which is equal to 10. So the equilibrium price is 10 dirhams per unit. What is the quantity sold in the market? So again, write the equation of quantity supplied, 30P plus 500. Substitute 10 for P because the equilibrium price is 10. So see here, 30 times 10, 30 times 10, which is 300, plus 500 equals 800. So 800 units is the equilibrium quantity, or the quantity will be sold or purchased, because quantity supplied equals quantity demanded. Is it easy? Do you have a question till now? Fatma Sawidi? I cannot find Fatma Sawidi. It seems to be she's absent. Okay, so let's go ahead. This will help us. Excess demand or shortage. So let me go to Hamid Ibrahim. Ahmed Muhammad.
I'm here, Doctor.
What's your name?
Ahmed Muhammad.
Ahmed Muhammad. Ahmed Muhammad, could you read this for me?
Yes.
Excess demand.
Excess demand or shortage, the condition that excess when quantity demanded exceeds quantity supplied at the current price.
Okay, so in Arabic, what's the meaning of shortage?
Shortage.
In Arabic, if somebody can help us to translate this word into Arabic.
Doctor, meaning out of stock or
Out of stock, well done. In Arabic, shortage.
النقص دكتور.
Well done, well done, well done, good. Okay, so excess supply, there is more supply. Additional, excess demand, more demand, excess demand, huge demand, extra demand, which cause shortage. Shortage comes when quantity demanded exceeds more than quantity supplied at a current price. Let's apply it on this graph. Look at this graph. So when the intersection point here between market demand curve and market supply curve refers to equilibrium point. So at equilibrium, the equilibrium price 250 and the equilibrium quantity 35. So since this dot is located on supply and demand curve together, that means 35 is the quantity demanded, which is equal to quantity supplied. Assume Hamid Khalid went to the market morning early and he found the price per kilo 175. It seems to be tomatoes are so cheap today. So what will happen? Demand curve refers to the desire of customers. Supply curve refers to the desire of producers. So at 175, the quantity demanded will be 50,000 units, while the quantity supplied will be 25,000 units. The difference between them is called shortage or excess demand. That means a quantity demanded exceeds a quantity supplied. The shortage in the market, 50 minus 25 is 25,000 units missing from the market. For this reason, Hamid Khalid said, out of stock. We don't have enough tomatoes. What will happen in this case? Because we have excess demand, the market is not stable. So that will lead to a competition between customers to purchase first. Producers will find a good opportunity to increase the price, right? Because there is a shortage of tomatoes and the government has no rule in tomatoes market. We are running in free market economy. So assume the price increased to 2 dirhams here, 2 dirhams. So as the price increases, a quantity supplied will increase and quantity demanded will decrease according to the law of demand and the law of supply. Again, as the price increases, a quantity supplied will increase according to the law of supply, but the quantity demanded will decrease according to the law of demand. As the price increases, a quantity demanded decreases. So at 2 dirhams, there is a still shortage differences between quantity demanded and the quantity supplied. There is a still shortage, but the shortage is less than before. Because there is a still shortage, the competition between customers will continue to purchase first, and the producers will find a good chance to increase the price. So the price, let's say, increase to 250. As the price increased from 2 to 250, the quantity supplied will increase while the quantity demanded will decrease. So at 250, the quantity demanded will be 35. The quantity supplied will be also be 35. So we will reach equilibrium. The market will be stable and the situation will continue. There is no desire or there is no tendency to get out of equilibrium. Is it clear till now? And that's what happened usually in the markets. If there is a shortage of a product, the price will increase. As the price increases, quantity supplied increase, quantity demanded decreases till we reach equilibrium. And equilibrium refers to stability. So let's go back to Hamid Khalid. Hamid Khalid, can you read this? Jasim. Jasim, salam. Jasim, Jasim, salam. Jasim, salam. Are you Jasim?
Yes, Doctor.
My question now, do you hear noise as before the previous hour?
No, now it's clear, Doctor. Now no sound. Now clear.
Now it's clear because I changed, I went and fighted them and now I got a new mic. They gave me a new one.
Yeah, it's okay now.
Okay, Hamid Khalid, are you with me? So Hamid is not with me. Let me go to Jasim. Jasim, could you read this for me?
Okay, Doctor. Excess supply or surplus.
Surplus. Yeah.
Surplus. The condition that exists when quantity supplies existed quantity demand of the current price.
Okay. So excess supply, that means more supply, or surplus. What's the meaning in Arabic of surplus? It's opposite of shortage. What's the meaning in Arabic? So again?
Ziyada.
Yes, well done. Both words are good. This is surplus. So the surplus occurs when or exists when a quantity supplied exceeds or higher or more than a quantity demanded at a single price. Let's make a practice on it. So assume Jasim Ali went to the market morning early and he found the price per kilo of tomatoes is 3 dirhams. So we need to read the information. So again, market demand curves refers to the willingness of customers. So at each single price, we can read what is the quantity will be purchased. At each single price, what is the quantity will be sold or produced. From the curves summarize data. So now I need first to ask you, at 3 dirhams per kilo, what will be the quantity demanded? Read the information from the graph. So again, my question, if the price is 3 dirhams per kilo, what will be the quantity demanded?
40,000, doctor?
The answer is wrong.
3,000, doctor.
Again,
20,000?
the answer is 20,000. So from the price, draw a horizontal line till it intersects demand curve. Read the quantity demanded. Next question. At 3 dirhams, what will be the quantity supplied?
40,000.
Okay, so from 3 dirhams, draw a horizontal line till it intersects supply curve, S supply curve. So the quantity supplied will be 40. So at 3 dirhams, a quantity supplied of 40 exceeds a quantity demanded of 20. The difference between them, 40 minus 20, is 20,000. The 20,000 is called surplus or excess supply. What will happen? Producers are willing to sell 40. Customers are willing to purchase only 20. So Ubaid, Hamad, Jasim, who are producers of tomatoes, will feel scared. Their tomatoes will be damaged, or they have to get a huge refrigerator to keep tomatoes. So what they will do? They will try to attract customers. How to attract more customers? By decreasing the price. Assume they decrease the price a little bit from 3 to 275. So as the price decreases, what will happen? A quantity demanded increases and the quantity supplied decreases again. As the price decreases, the quantity demanded will increase, but quantity supplied will decrease. So at 275, there is still surplus, even it is less than before. There is still surplus. So the downward pressure on the price will continue till we reach 250, 2 dirhams 50 fils. So now I will ask you, at 250, 2 dirhams 50 fils, what will be the quantity demanded? Who can answer this question? At 2 dirhams 50 fils, what will be the quantity demanded?
It will be equilibrium, doctor. Supply equal demand.
So again, my question, what will be the quantity demanded if the price 250? Give me number.
You mean 35,000, doctor?
Yes, well done. So at 250, draw horizontal line till it intersects demand curve at this dot. So the quantity demanded 35. Also the quantity supplied, because this dot located on supply curve equals 35. So this is equilibrium point. Quantity demanded equals the quantity supplied. So at 250, this is called equilibrium price. 35,000 is called equilibrium quantity. Okay. This is, if you understand this slide, so almost you controlled chapter 3. So this is the last important point in chapter 3, but I'm not in a hurry. I will re-explain more points to be familiar with these new concepts. So Hamad Ibrahim, عبد الرحمن.
نعم دكتور موجود حمد ابراهيم.
حمد ابراهيم موجود يا رجال، ادور عليك انا.
موجود دكتور، بس انا المايك عندي خربان ساعات ما يشتغل.
المايك اشتري مثل المايك مالتي اجنبي يا رجال. انا كان المايك مالتي تعبان، رحت تخاصمت وياهم، انطوني مايك الصراحه فنان. انطوني
طيب ان شاء الله.
والله انطوني مايك فنان هالمره.
ان شاء الله.
اشتري واحد جديد يا ريال.
حاضرين دكتور.
حمد ابراهيم read this for me.
ماركت
equilibrium. listen to me. equilibrium.
دكتور ما اعرف انطقها الحين
يا رجال. احنا جاي يا رجال تطلع ان شاء الله، خليك صبور وياي. equilibrium. well done. Okay. changes in equilibrium. well done Hamad. Okay, go ahead.
When supply and demand curves shift, the equilibrium price and quantity change.
well done, thank you very much. يعني أنا شاكر لك حمد إبراهيم، لأنه ثقت بالمعلم.
نعم
والله
صحيح.
والله بارك الله
المعلم
فيك.
أن يكون رسولا بعد دكتور.
والله بارك الله فيك. يعني إذا أنت تسمع المعلم يعني عن إذن الصف. كانت والدتي يعني وهي تودعني أروح للمدرسة الابتدائية يعني تقول كلمة مشهورة، اسمع المعلم شو يقول. يعني اصغي للمعلم. وبسبب نصيحته شوف مرت الأيام، والآن الحمد لله أنا دكتور.
ما شاء الله تبارك الرحمن.
وأنا من قرية، يعني أنا من قرية مش من المدينة المعاصرة. أوكي. So see here, for a moment, ignore the light red. Consider this is market demand curve and this is market supply curve. And the intersection point between two curves refer to equilibrium. So the equilibrium price for this product 120 and the equilibrium quantity 13.2. Okay, so now what happened? Now we are at equilibrium. There is no tendency to change the price. Customers and sellers are satisfied. Customers would like to sell 13.2. Customers would like to purchase 13.2. Everything is lovely in the market. Suddenly, there is a change in the market. There is a change in the market. What happened? Let's say the rent of land, real property markets, huge demand in real property markets. The rent of the land increased. So what will be the effect on tomatoes if the rent increase? Production cost will increase. Supply will decrease. Supply will decrease. So supply curve will shift to the left. This is a decrease in supply. Okay, so now focus on market demand curve, which is a blue curve, and the light red, which is the new supply curve after the increase in rent. So now at 150, what will happen? The quantity supplied will be 6.6, but the quantity demanded as before 13.2. The difference between them is called excess demand or shortage. Since we have shortage, there will, as I explained before, when we have shortage, there will be upward pressure on the price. The price will increase. The price will increase. As the price increases, the quantity supplied will increase, quantity demanded will decrease till we reach 240, 2 dirhams 40 fils. At 240, this is a new equilibrium point. So this is equilibrium price 240, the equilibrium quantity 9.9. Okay, so now let me formulate a new question. Rents increase. Rents increase. What will be the effect on equilibrium of price and the quantity of tomatoes? Again, assume the market was at equilibrium and suddenly what happened? The rents increased. What will happen to equilibrium of price and equilibrium quantity? Now I will answer. Don't feel scared. I will ask you later. So as rent increase, that will affect supply. Supply will decrease. Since supply decrease, the equilibrium price will increase from 120 to 240, and the equilibrium quantity will decrease from 13.2 to 9.2. Do you understand this graph? Do you have a question?
Again, دكتور.
What's your name?
محمد عبد الوهاب.
محمد عبد الوهاب. Right?
نعم.
كيف حالك؟
الحمد لله دكتور، شو اخبارك انت؟
الله يسعد حالك يا رجال، ما بنشوفك.
شو تبغى تشوف يعني دكتور؟
نريد احنا لقاء فيس تو فيس.
ان شاء الله الكلاس الجاي.
ان شاء الله ان شاء الله ان شاء الله. هم بيقولوا بعد شهر بينقلوا الدراسة بالكامبس.
والله احسن صراحة على الكامبس.
ايوه لان الصراحة بالاونلاين يعني ما بيتفاعل. اوكي. Do you know I will answer your question. I will repeat what I explained, but I'd like to show you more technologies. Okay, so I need you to look. So all the possible cases, you can find it in this slide. So what I explained here, so consider, I will explain again to Mr. Muhammad Abdul Wahab. So this is market demand curve, and the dark red is the initial supply curve. They intersect at this point. This is initial equilibrium price and initial equilibrium quantity. What happened? Increase in the production cost. For example, the rent increase. what will happen? The supply will decrease. So since supply decreases, what will be the effect on equilibrium price and the quantity? The answer is as follows. The price will increase and the equilibrium quantity will decrease. I think now it's clear, right?
Okay.
Another example. I will give you some examples. Another example. So this dot refers to initial equilibrium point. What happened if you read number 10, decrease in production cost? Assume the rent of land, of agricultural land, decreases in the whole market. So Ubaid, as a producer of tomatoes, along with Hamad Khalid and Jassim, will feel happy. So supply will decrease. Sorry, supply will increase. Supply curve will shift to the right. What will happen to equilibrium price and the quantity? So equilibrium price will decrease, equilibrium quantity will increase. Okay, now it's your turn. I will ask you a question. So now 3, 6, 8. We have 6 cases. What happened in these 6 cases? There is a change in demand curve. So see here, let me start with number 1. So the dark blue is the initial demand curve. So start with the initial equilibrium point. The equilibrium price P0, the equilibrium quantity Q0. What happened now? Income increases and the product is normal. So if the income increases and the product is normal, demand will increase, demand curve will shift to the right. My question, what happened to equilibrium price and the quantity? Answer me. What happened? Read the answer from the graph. What happened to equilibrium price and the quantity? The equilibrium price will increase and the equilibrium quantity will increase also. Another case. So this dot between dark blue, which is demand curve, and supply curve, refers to the initial equilibrium point. So the equilibrium price P0, the equilibrium quantity Q0. What happened? Income increases, but the product is inferior. If income increases and the product is inferior, demand will decrease. Hamad Ibrahim will purchase less Indomie because Indomie is an inferior good. So demand curve will shift to the left. This is a decrease in demand. What happened to equilibrium price and the quantity? If you know, answer me.
They will decrease, doctor.
Decrease in price or quantity?
Both.
Well done. So the equilibrium price will decrease, equilibrium quantity will decrease. Also, so let me take last example. Let me take last example. So there is, this is the initial equilibrium point. What happened? Decrease in the price of a complement. Decrease in the price of a complement. So sugar and tea. So the price of sugar decreases. What will happen to demand for tea? If the price of sugar decreases, are you going to purchase more or less tea?
More.
So more tea, demand for tea will increase, demand curve will shift to the right. what will happen to equilibrium of price and the quantity?
Increase?
In the price or quantity?
Both.
Both. Well done. So see here, first what happened in the market?
بس دكتور ليش بيزيد؟
Okay, because demand for tea increases. And we look at the intersection point. And the intersection point tell us there is an increase in the price and the quantity. Okay. Do you know, to understand this, this is a summary of what I explained. This is a summary of what I explained. This is important terms. So I will go to somewhere and then I will come back to discussion questions. I will come back to this discussion questions. So now I need to explain something to you. Okay. So I will tell you موزة عبيد كيف حالكي؟ موزة عبيد
مرحبا دكتور معك.
كيف حالكي؟
الحمد لله الحمد لله بخير الله يسلمك.
بارك الله فيك الله يخليك إن شاء الله. Okay, so now listen to my question, all of you. There is a huge technological progress in producing laptop. Again, there is a huge, important, significant technological progress in producing laptop, accompanied with a slight increase in income. Laptop is a normal product. What will happen to equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity for the laptops if there is a huge technological progress and slight improvement in our income? Slight symbol, huge, very big. Slight symbol. So huge technological progress and slight improvement in our incomes. What will happen to equilibrium price and the quantity? So for me, the answer is not in my head. I need to draw a graph to show the equilibrium, the initial equilibrium point before changes in technologies and income. And then you have to see the effect of technology on curves, the effect of a change in income on curves, and then derive the answer from the curve. So try to work to answer this question. Okay, so what I will do while you are preparing your mind, do you understand the question? This is supply curve and demand curve, and we can refer to the initial equilibrium point. So this is initial equilibrium point. You can read equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity. So now my question, if there is a huge technological progress, the technological progress will affect supply or demand. Try to remember factors affecting demand, factors affecting supply. So if there is technological progress in producing laptop, this is one factor affecting supply. Technological progress will make producing laptop cheaper. Production cost will decrease. Supply will increase. So what will happen? Supply will increase. Supply curve will shift to the right. Supply curve will shift to the right. So supply curve will shift to the right. It's technology.
Doctor,
Yes.
what do you mean by supply shift to the right?
أيوة. When supply curve shifts to the right, means an increase in supply. When supply curve shifts to the right, means an increase in supply. Now, because there is
left decrease.
Sorry?
If it goes to left, it means decrease, doctor?
Decrease in supply, yes. How do you know? Take a single price, for example, this price. So at this price, producer will produce more. They used to produce 6, now they produce 9. So this is an increase in supply. Okay. Now, I said there is a slight increase or improvement in our income, and the product is normal. If there is an increase in income and the product is normal, demand curve will shift to the right. Demand curve will shift to the right. This is called an increase in demand. So now demand curve shifts to the right. Why? Because income increases, the product is normal, demand shifts to the right, an increase in demand. Where is the new equilibrium point? The new equilibrium point is between the new demand curve and new supply curve. If you compare between red lines, I said a huge technological progress which make a significant increase in supply. But since I said there is a slight increase in demand, so I make the increase in demand smaller than the increase in supply. And then this is the intersection point. So now please help me to read the information. What happened to the price of laptop in the market?
To increase, doctor.
Sorry, what happened to the price of laptop?
Increase?
No, the price of laptop decreases. The price of laptop decreases. And it's affected mostly by the increase in supply. And what happened to equilibrium quantity? Equilibrium quantity increase. Equilibrium quantity increase. You are still, some of you have a problem. Is it clear till now? So now the laptop becomes cheaper and more popular, and that's true. So if you compare the price of laptop 10 years ago with today, so laptop today is cheaper and more popular. Even students in schools have laptops. So that means the equilibrium quantity is higher than before, and the laptop is cheaper. Why? Because the technological progress in producing laptop accompany with an increase in income. Do you understand this or not? So what I will do now is employees working in tomatoes farms, their wages decreases. What will happen to supply? If the wages decreases, that means production cost decreases. Producers of tomatoes will feel happy. Supply will increase. So the red line refers to an increase in supply. This is a new supply curve. Demand curve is still the same. My question now, what will happen to equilibrium price of tomatoes and equilibrium quantity of tomatoes. Can you derive the information from the graph?
الديماند جراف بيتم نفسه.
Yes, there is no factors affecting demand. What happened, only wages decreases, and if wages decreases of workers working in producing tomatoes, that will affect supply. So assume demand is the same. So the question, what happened to equilibrium price of tomatoes?
The price is on the left or downstairs?
We read the price on the vertical axis.
Okay,
and
then
we read the quantity on the horizontal axis. So what happened to equilibrium price?
it will decrease.
Well done. What will happen to equilibrium quantity?
It will increase.
What's your name?
محمد عبد الوهاب.
Well done, Muhammad Abdul Wahab. So now I think it's clear the equilibrium price decreases, equilibrium quantity increases. Okay, let me go back and I will delete this. Okay, so now this is the initial equilibrium point, the initial equilibrium point. So assume on TV, they said if you eat more tomatoes, you will get allergy. So the attitudes into tomatoes become less than before. So that will affect most probably demand. Do you think demand will increase or decrease?
Decrease.
Sorry?
Decrease.
Decrease. Demand curve will shift to the right or to the left?
Left, Victor.
Left. Well done. Okay, so this demand curve will shift to the left. This is a new demand curve. Now assume supply curve is the same. What will happen to equilibrium price of tomatoes?
Decrease, Doctor.
What will happen to equilibrium quantity?
Increase.
No.
Decrease, sorry, decrease.
Okay, so Dino, put a dot between the intersection point between a new supply, new demand curve and the initial supply curve, because there is no change in supply. Now I think it's easy to read. The equilibrium price decreases, equilibrium quantity decreases. So I think now I feel more satisfied. I feel more satisfied. You understood equilibrium.